Hey guys, it's Brittany. So I'm back and just want to say I know it's been a long while since I've done my videos and have uploaded them, and I am sorry that I caused any concern or worry among my friends and fellow YouTubers that I haven't posted, that I haven't uploaded any new videos of my content when it comes to sharing my love and passion for movies, dreams, reaction videos, and the paranormal. I feel so bad about that. It's just that things have came up when the new year started and I was just busy. And yes, I should have at least did a post to let you know that I was busy, and I feel bad about that too, and I'm so sorry about that. I apologize. I didn't mean to cause any concern or worry at all, and I just want to say that I am fine, physically and emotionally. So yes, I am fine overall, so that's good. But yes, I do apologize for the the apps for my absence on my channel and of my videos, of my content, and I do miss it, but I am back, so I'm gonna get right back to it, and I'm gonna keep my schedule of the one that I've had before, where I would pick one day of the week to record all 4 videos and just upload them of how I was uploading them before. So I'm gonna get right back to that, but of course I would have to change my schedule a little bit just so that way I can be back on track. So definitely, so just want to say that, give you a heads up, and just wanted to give you my sincere apology of my absence, which I never meant for that to happen at all. And I just want to say it's not the first time that's happened, because when I was starting out on my YouTube channel back in 2016, I remember there were times where I was recording and uploading videos, but then there have been times, or maybe weeks gone by, or maybe a month or 2 months would go by, and then I wouldn't record. And it's not because I didn't want to. It's just because there are some things that came up where I was busy. So yeah, but also, yeah, there were just other things going on, so that's why before, when I was starting, that's why at times I wasn't recording or uploading as much. And I do know, when was it, but yeah, there was a certain time where I was really determined, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Like, there's gonna be no breaks in between, whether if it's a week, a month, or how many months that there might be. So I remember just always recording, always uploading, and I know with all of a sudden with the absence, did I say that right? But yeah, with my all of a sudden, like, it seemed like I disappeared. I never meant to cause, but I just want to say and point out that's not the first time that's happened on my channel, and that's happened maybe a couple of times before, like maybe in 2016, 2017, just when I was still new on my channel, when I was just starting. But this sort of absence, knowing how I was always recording, always uploading a lot, I never meant to cause that sudden disappearance of my absence on my channel. That I never meant to cause. And knowing that I have have such really good friends and fellow YouTubers who not only enjoy and love my content, but who are good friends, and I enjoy, talking to you and keeping in contact, and yes, keep in contact with me as well. And yeah, if you ever want to reach out and talk, I'll be fine with that, because I would like to hear from you guys. But yeah, that I never meant to cause, especially this year, considering how I was always uploading. So that, again, I do apologize. But yes, again, just want to say I am back, but I am now gonna fix my schedule so that way whatever it is that I have to do when I am busy, then just do what I have to do, and then when I do have that free time, then just start recording and everything and do videos, so that way I could at least be doing both, So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And I would say for the update on my channel is that I'm just gonna make sure that I'm just gonna go back to the schedule I had before, where I just pick one day a week to record all 4 videos, and then upload them the way I was uploading before. And yeah, just get back to that, but also to make sure I have a really good balanced schedule, so that way I can keep recording more and uploading more, because yeah, I want my channel to at least I want my channel to grow. I really do. I want my channel to grow, and I want it to be recognized as not only a movie channel, because I love movies and I have a love and passion for movies, but I also want it to be seen where, knowing that I don't, not only I talk about movies, but also where I talk about the paranormal and dreams, because I have a passion for dreams. And lately I've been having some very interesting dreams, and as much as I want to share that with you, I feel like maybe not now. It would have to be specifically for a video, for a dream video itself, because every dream needs to have its own dream video. So yeah, and plus I also want my channel to be seen where I talk about movies, dreams, the paranormal, where I do reaction videos, and sometimes doing fun quizzes, and just other videos here and there as well. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But I just want to say that when I do start my first 4 videos, mostly of this year, let's just say, instead of a movie review or sharing a dream, or I will go back to that, but I think before I get back to talking about movies, I think the first 4 videos I want to do is just something different, just something I don't get to talk about on my channel, and it's something I only kind of talk to myself in my head about it. And I think we all do that, where there's just some things we think about, and we're just like talking about it in our heads, about whatever it might be. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think one of the first videos I'm gonna do would be a fun quiz video. And what kind of quiz, I don't know. I would have to look and find whatever quiz that I want to do. But also another video, and I know with this I've never done before on my channel, but I think could be new. Is something that could maybe spice up my channel a little bit, and I'm thinking of doing a video of listing 5 like fictional characters that I have a crush on. So, because I think we all have that. I think when it comes to watching a movie or a TV show, that there's gonna be a particular character that we're gonna have a crush on, and sometimes could be one, maybe just one character, and even one is still good. At least to me, one is good enough. Or sometimes we might have 2 or 3, but that's okay too if someone has more than just one crush on a fictional character. But I'm thinking if I'm gonna do that, it would have to be I'm thinking of listing 5 fictional characters that I have a crush on from TV shows, and there's a list in my head that that I already have in mind, that I know who I'm going to list, like what character and what show they're from. So, and I'm not gonna give out any hints, because when I do that video and I reveal the character and from that show, then of course then you'll know. And the other 2 videos I'm gonna do to start off on my channel by coming back and the start of this year, even though we're in the 5th month. No, actually I'm sorry, we're in the 6th month of 2025. So yeah, but again, this time I do feel like, okay, like no matter what I'm doing, I'm gonna make sure to do my videos more. But like I said, and since I only have to record my videos at least just for videos in one day, then yeah, I should at least make a really good schedule to record those videos when I have the time to do it, so yeah, I'm gonna really make sure of that, definitely. But not only this is an update of my channel, but this is gonna be more like a sit down chit chat kind of video too, because yeah, I gotta say this year, well, let's not talk about this year, but I don't know, I think for me personally, despite certain things have been going on, if you know what I mean, like politically, which I won't get into because I'm not at all a political person. I don't get into that, like really into depth, because to really talk about it like for so long, or just to talk about it at all, it just it stresses me, and it's just something that I'm not really quite into, and I know there are some people that are quite passionate when it comes to politics, but I'm not, so I'm just not gonna go there. I'm not gonna say anything about it, but if you know what I mean, then you know, but I'm just not gonna say it. But other than that, I just want to say that personally, when it comes to my life, I really feel that things are gonna change for the better, like for my channels, now that I'm back, and I'm gonna be doing even more videos and keep the schedule I had before, and just make sure that I do that, because I want to be able to do more again, because I miss it. I miss talking about movies, sharing my dreams and the paranormal and everything. So yeah, I do miss it, so that is something I am very determined about. So yeah, definitely. Oh gosh, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but that's pretty much what I was saying, is that personally, I feel that my life is gonna change for the better, for my channel, and for anything else that will happen. Like, even, just anything else personally that I believe will change for the better in my life. So that I do have a feeling about. I do. And yes, I know if you see something different, it's because there is. Um, okay, now with that candle over there, of course, it's not a real one. It's a fake, it's a batteried tea light candle, LED, and it has that flicker motion. So yeah, that's what you're seeing. I think you can tell it's not a real candle, but yeah, I just have it there. But if I had at least maybe a small tea light candle holder, then yeah, I would definitely put that in there. But yeah, like I said, not only this is an update of my channel, just to give you a heads up and everything, but this is also a sit down, just to talk about stuff. So yeah, I just want to say things so far are going good for me, and I gotta say there's some things that in a way distract me in a way where I don't feel stress, you know? And I think that's a good thing. I think it's good to at least to have some kind of distraction where instead of like making you feel worse, about certain things that you might feel worse about emotionally, that instead it just somehow just, makes your day, and it just makes you feel better, you know. So yeah, I've been having that, like having a good kind of distraction, like playing games on my phone, and I'm just like noticing I feel a little bit more better, and even when I do feel stressed, I don't feel as stressed as before. And so like now when I do feel stressed, it might be a little bit of it, but mostly when I play the games on my phone, it's just a good distraction where at least I do end up feeling a little bit better, and then like the worry and the stress from other things that might be on my mind, and it's like it's gone, so I'm glad with that. So yeah. And yeah, so not only you see the tea light candle there, but the one thing I believe you do notice is the poster, the Batman Forever poster. And so, because the thing is, I've always wanted a Batman Forever poster, because for those who may know, that it's one of my favorite Batman movies. At least to me, it's like the best in my opinion, and I just love everything about it. And for those who don't know, well, now you know. But yeah, so I'm so happy that I got it, and I think, cause I don't know, it looks a little bit crooked, just a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe move it to the side a little bit over here, and maybe move it down a little bit too, just a bit. I don't know, what do you think? But yeah, I think I should at least try to get it, try to fix it a little bit so it looks straight and not, a little crooked. But other than that, it still looks good. But if you want to see a close-up of it, I will do a close-up of it on my video and share it on a short on my channel. Yeah, so I know. Oh yeah, that's another thing I was gonna say, is that but yes, I am happy that I got the Batman Forever poster. But, and for those who know, when the news happened. So when I had heard about how when Val Kilmer passed away, and it was right on April 1st, that's something I wasn't expecting, and I'm pretty sure anyone who was a fan or, you know, maybe wasn't expecting that either. And I'm pretty sure everyone was just going about their day, and all of a sudden, when they heard the news um, that yeah, a lot of fans were completely sad, heartbroken, and honestly, I was too, definitely. And because the thing is, because I would say, I think you can say I'm still a fan of his, regardless, and the thing is, I grew up watching his movies, not all of them, but I think there's 7 of them that I grew up watching as a child. Like, there's Top Secret, Real Genius, Top Gun, um, Tombstone, The Prince of Egypt, The Ghost in the Darkness, and I know that's not a movie for a child to watch, considering that it's based on true events, on what happened, which is horrific. But that's one movie I did grow up watching, also along with Thunderheart and Batman Forever. And so, because I think that's like, what, 8 movies. So, yeah, and considering I grew up watching those movies, and honestly, he was my childhood crush. He was. And so, but yeah, even just growing up watching his movies, even when I watched a little bit more movies of his that I haven't seen, even when I was a teen, yeah, he was just one of those actors that just inspired me, and I just completely loved his acting, and I just loved how he played the characters like differently, with different personalities, and and just bringing the character to life in his own way. And he was just a great actor. And so, yeah, to have heard this news that happened right the start of April, yeah, I was not expecting that. And so, now I just want to say, and I don't know if I should share this just yet on my channel, or maybe I should wait until, like, maybe by the end of the year, but I just want to say real quick, because I'm just being kind of cautious and being considerate here, which is why I'm kind of hesitant to share this kind of paranormal experience. But, and like I said, maybe I should wait until the end of the year, of this year, to share it, or maybe somewhere in the beginning of next year, I don't know. But you guys let me know how soon I should share it. But, I think it was, 2 or 3 days after, yeah, and I'm not kidding, but this was 2 or 3 days after Val Kilmer passed, that I had experienced something paranormal. I had heard a voice. The voice said something, a male voice, and when I heard what the male voice said, it just caught me by surprise, because I never once ever heard like a voice, like a spiritual voice, saying the words that this voice said. Because there have been times where I would hear maybe a voice calling out my name, or maybe saying something that maybe would make me question and make me be like, wait, what? They said this, so why did they say this? But this was something, yeah, like I said, these two words, no, three actually. Yeah, these three words that I heard, like I said, just caught me by surprise, and I thought, okay, that's different. That's new for me because I've never heard a voice like said the words that I heard, and yeah, that's why I'm not saying it. Because like I said, I think I just shared in a paranormal video, but that's why I'm not saying it now, because I'm being kind of careful and I'm just being considerate, considering the fact that it wasn't long ago when he passed, and it was like what, 2 months ago. So yeah, and if I have to wait maybe until maybe November or December, just to share that paranormal experience, I will wait until then. But right now, I'm just not gonna go. I'm just not gonna say any more. But yeah, let me know when you guys think I should share that. But this happened 2 or 3 days after he passed, and yes, honestly, yeah, like I said, I'm still sad about it, and yeah, so like I said, I was heartbroken, because like I said, he was, not only was he my childhood crush, of course, but he was just this really great actor that I looked up to, who inspired me, and who I really admired his work and just loved the way he acted and the way he played his roles. And the thing is, because now I have what? Okay, let me count here. I have at least, I think, 4 different favorite movies of his, but one of them is Batman, and well, Batman Forever. And because I really love his performance as Batman, and to me, he probably just seems like maybe the most handsome Bruce Wayne Batman I've ever seen. And the thing is, when Batman Forever came out, it was June 16th, 1995. And so when it did came out at that time, in June in 95, I was actually 3 years old. Still a baby. And I will do a story time on that, or maybe I could just give a quick brief story about that. That when my mom took me to see the movie, she was with my dad at the time, and so when my sister came along, we all went to see the movie. And because the thing is, with Jurassic Park, I was a year old, and I was crying and screaming, which is understandable because I couldn't comprehend what was happening, and that not understanding what was going on. And yet the one thing that I now love had truly scared me at the time, which was T-Rex. But then of course I grew up loving it. And same thing with The Mask. The Mask came out in 94. Okay, it came out July 29th, 1994, which is actually my older sister's birthday. So at that time, I was 2. Okay, I was 2 at the time, and I was just 2 years old, still a baby. And so knowing that with Jim Carrey, one of my favorite actors, comedians, who just makes me laugh, and knowing that when I saw him put on the mask and he was transformed and it brought out more of this wild, crazy side of him. Yet somehow, even seeing his performance as the mask, that scared me too, and I'm crying and screaming because I couldn't understand, like, oh no, what's happening to Jim Carrey? Why is he acting kind of strange, kind of crazy? He's scaring me. But of course, like I said, that was different then. I was still a baby, so I couldn't really grasp to really understand what was going on with his character in the movie. But then, of course, when it came to Batman Forever, that came out in 95, I was 3 years old. And because being 3 years old, I'm still a baby. But this time, this movie experience was different. Because unlike Jurassic Park and The Mask, which I was crying and screaming for two different reasons, which is completely understandable, of course. But then with Batman Forever, like I said, I was 3. So when it came to being in the movie theater, watching Batman Forever, 3 years old, which I don't remember. I don't have that memory watching the movie at 3 years old. I really don't remember. I mean, I kind of wish I could remember that, but I don't. But yeah, so it was me, my mom, my dad, and my older sister. We were watching the movie, but with this movie experience was different because there was nothing going on that made me felt scared. That made me feel like scared to the point of crying. So yeah, even my mom said that during the whole movie of Batman Forever, I was pretty much quiet and calm. And I gotta say, I don't know if it maybe had to do with the fact that maybe just seeing Val Kilmer somehow kind of made me feel kind of calm, kind of made me feel like, okay, I think I could sit still and just watch the movie. So I don't know if his presence on the screen has something to do with it, of being quiet and calm and just being very observant of really watching a movie. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But knowing that with Jim Carrey being the Riddler, that didn't scare me either. And I think it's because knowing that with him as the Riddler was just, I think, completely different from The Mask. But knowing with seeing Jim Carrey and everything, it's like, hey, there's Jim Carrey again, except he's a different character, but he's not as crazy, like when his face turned green. But I think that the Riddler himself is still crazy, but just in a different way, completely different from Stanley Ipkiss, who would put on the mask. So I think there are two different kinds of crazies between those characters, but in a good way, in a hilarious way. Gosh, I feel like I'm talking so much, which I don't mind because I love to talk without a doubt, but I just need something to drink. Yeah, my throat's feeling a little bit dry, and this video is going on for long, so I'm sorry. Okay, that's better. So yeah, and I remember when my mom told me that I was pretty much quiet and calm through the whole movie of Batman Forever. I just was just surprised, and I thought, well, between Jurassic Park and The Mask, knowing I was screaming and crying for two different reasons, that was just scaring me. And like I said, because of course I'm still a baby and I can't really grasp to really understand what's going on. But then, of course, I think you can say I think the more I watched it, at some point, I think, what, maybe 3, 4 years old, and I think the more I watched Jurassic Park, the more I grew up loving the T-Rex and not being afraid anymore. And in fact, I just was so mesmerized by the T-Rex and just like, wow. Like, to me it was just like something so amazing to see. And it looked so realistic too, which it still does. And the same thing with Jim Carrey, that even the more I watched it growing up, I was no longer afraid of Jim Carrey when he would be the Mask. It's like instead of being scared and everything, I actually grew up loving his character and just finding his crazy wild side as the Mask just completely funny. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like he has this whole other side to him that's so different from Stanley Ipkiss, because as he explained, that the mask itself brings your most inner desires to life, and that it brings out this other side to him that he can't really bring out himself as Stanley Ipkiss, but it only brings that part of him through the mask. And I think that's very interesting. But yes, with Bound Forever, I was just so calm and quiet through the whole movie, just enjoying it. And like I said, I don't remember that. I mean, my mom told me about it, but when I'm trying to remember, I just don't remember that. But I do remember the many, many, many times rewatching Batman Forever, as a young child, as a little girl, that I just loved Batman Forever. And I think, honestly, I think I fell in love with it at 3 years old. Maybe me not really knowing it consciously, but knowing the many times I did watched it growing up. Yeah, it's just one of those Batman movies that I completely fell in love with, just like how I fell in love with Jurassic Park and The Mask and other favorite movies that that became my favorites. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that. But yeah, so that's why I have the Bound Forever poster, because I feel like because I personally felt like oh have you ever get that where if you kind of burp a little and you feel something going up through your nose, especially when drinking soda? Oh, I had that happen just now. Well, that hurt. So yeah, okay, what was I saying? That kind of interrupted it. Okay, but oh man, I completely forgot. Oh yeah, I think I was gonna say that yeah, Batman Forever is just one of those movies I completely fell in love with. And yeah, I know there are some people that maybe love the Dark Knight movies more, and maybe they're more fans of those ones, or maybe of the new one with Robert Pattinson, and that's fine if you do. But personally, I don't like, even though I do see why a lot of people like The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, because it's more darker, but I don't really like that dark concept, and even the fact that it takes place in our time, like the reality of this world. I don't like that concept either, because like I like it more when it has that comic book feel to it, like with Batman Returns, even with Batman Forever. I just love the comic book feel to it when it comes to the setting, to the atmosphere of Batman. And yeah, I just love that more, especially like with the costume designs and the Batmobile. Like I just love it. So I knew I was gonna say something, but now I lost it. If it comes back to me, it will. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. Oh yeah, about the poster. That with the poster that I got is because, of course, because of the fact that it is my most favorite, I would say number one Batman movie out of all of the Batman movies, and because this one really stands out to me the most, and it's just one I grew up with and fell in love with and everything, and because I love everything, and I do admit there are some things I would change a bit here and there, but other than that, I love everything about it. And so that's why I got it, because I thought, well, I want to have something of, I just want to have something like a piece of my favorite movie, and that's a poster. So I'm glad I have it. But I also felt like, you know what? Not only having this poster is like having a piece of one of my favorite movies, and it's now on the wall, which looks really great. But I feel like I also have something to remember Val Kilmer by, knowing how much he meant to me, you know, and to everyone else, and knowing that he was this inspiration of mine as a young child, and even as I got older, even into a teenager, and how even as an adult, you know, that he was still an inspiration. And even just rewatching his movies again and again, it's like it never gets tiring, it never gets old, and it's just something I always look forward to watching, because I always look forward to watching his movies no matter how many times I watch it, like Top Gun, The Prince of Egypt, let's see, Tombstone. Who can go wrong with Tombstone? Now, for those who may not be into Tombstone, and if that's not kind of your type of Western movie, that's fine. That's fine, but I love Tombstone. And yeah, because I grew up with it too. And yeah, I never get tired of watching like his other movies, like The Saint and The Ghost in the Darkness. And if it sounds like I'm shivering, it's because the air is on, and it does get cool in here quite easily, especially if it's on for a bit long. So I was just trying my best not to shiver. But yeah, but also, especially because of Batman Forever, I never get tired of it. Never. I've watched it, I don't know how many times as a child, maybe 1,000 million times. I don't know. It was a lot though. and I lost track because it was just a lot. But considering how many times I watched it, like I said, I just never got tired of it. I was never like, yeah, I already know what's gonna happen, so it's nothing new. Like, no, it's like, to me, like, I always looked forward to watching it, even as a teen, even when I grew up, to an adult. Like, it's just one of those movies I'll never get tired of watching. It, even like with Jurassic Park, I can never get tired of Jurassic Park, or even like Spirit over there, or the Phantom of the Opera, the musical one, 2004 with Gerard Butler, or Titanic. And yes, as many times I've watched that as a teen, and even when there's times I still watch it, it never, let's just say, it still makes me feel what it will always make me feel. Like, it'll make me feel like, in a way, swoon for the characters, of their romance, but at the same time, when it comes to those intense parts, it will always make me feel so anxious and tense, even though I already know what's gonna happen, and it still makes me cry so hard, without a doubt. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go into that, because if I talk about that, I'm probably gonna end up crying. But yeah, but just saying that, along with my other favorite movies, that I never get tired of watching, just like with Batman Forever. So yes, this is a new addition to my room. I love it, and I am gonna get a frame for it. I will, and I'll make sure when I do put it up onto the wall that it will stay there, especially when it's framed and everything. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, I know this video is going on for about 47 minutes. I'm so sorry about that. It's just that I just feel like I just wanted to talk, like, not only give you an update to my channel, which I'm back and gonna do more and everything, and definitely gonna be right back on track like I was before. But I just wanted to talk about, the things that were just on my mind, and to talk about, about Kilmer, and about my poster that I gotten, and to talk about the movie itself, and looking back on when it came out and how I was 3 at the time. And that's another thing, because that Batman Forever is gonna have its 30th anniversary this month on Monday, which is next Monday. So when it turns 30, now of course I'm not gonna be 3 because that was a long time ago, but I'm because I turned 33 last year, so when it turns 30, I'm still gonna be 33. So yeah, so that means I'm like 3 years older than the movie. But honestly, even just saying that, it doesn't make me feel old. And I know a lot of people might say that about themselves, like, oh wow, like, I'm a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years older than my favorite movie. Wow, I feel so old. Like, whether they really mean it or they're joking, or kind of both, honestly, I mean, I understand if some people might feel that way, if they actually do feel somehow old, even though if they're not old, if you know what I mean. But honestly, I don't feel that way. I don't feel old knowing that I'm 33, and that Batman Forever is gonna turn 30 quite soon, and knowing that I'm like 3 years older than my favorite movie. So I don't feel old for saying that. I mean, I feel older in a way as an adult and in my 30s, but in a good way, but I just don't feel old in a way like in that kind of way where it sounds like I'm being insensitive towards myself, so no, nothing like that. No, because honestly, I still feel young. Because as a matter of fact, technically, physically, I am still young. And honestly, I think even when I do get much older, I don't think there's ever gonna be a time where I'm gonna say, "Oh, now I'm so old." Like, no, I don't think there's ever gonna be a time where I'm gonna say that, because it's like, well, even though my body is aging, but you know what? I still feel good. I still feel young. And I think I probably will say that knowing that I'm gonna take good care of myself as I get older. So, yeah. And I don't know how that topic kind of changed to that, but interesting. So before I get off, I just want to say this. I just want to say this real quick, and this is something I will mention in a video soon. So I just want to point out that when I had started this year, I started this year on a good note. I did. Oh, excuse me. Wow. But I just want to say that there are some shows that I'm watching at the moment, because right at the end of January this year, that's when I was starting to watch Supernatural. But it was actually my second time watching it. So, and because considering it's like one of the longest running shows ever of 15 seasons. 15! And so, because of that, it's like there's a lot to watch from season 1 all the way to season 15. And so yeah, I gotta say, when I was rewatching again, the second time, like honestly, it felt good, to rewatch it. And of course, there are some parts that I did remember, but there's just some other things I completely forgot. But I will say that yes, I was enjoying watching it again the second time, but I gotta say that recently, yeah, what was it? In May? Yeah. So because I started season 1 in May, and by the time I finished it with season 15, I finished it last month in May. So when I had to finish it with season 15 of the last episode, oh boy, I wish it had never ended the way it did, because like to see, I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it. I won't say who died, but for those who have seen Supernatural and knows who dies at the end of the episode, like honestly, like to have seen his character's death seen all over again, especially the second time, it still completely tore me apart. And and I gotta say, he's one of my favorite characters, so to see that, it just broke my heart all over again. Well, actually, I'm not gonna put it lightly here, because the first time I watched it, I was so devastated, and to see that, I was crying so hard, and I was so sad that it just felt like my heart was ripped out. And yes, I know that sounds violent and aggressive to put it that way, but that's just how it felt, because I was so very sad by that, and I was not expecting that. And honestly, I couldn't stop crying the first time that I seen it, and knowing that I had like I said, okay, so I'm not crying here, I'm still shivering, but the point is, when I was watching it again and to see his character's death scene again, it just completely tore me apart, and I'm just like, my eyes were just building up, with tears, and yeah, I'm just crying so hard, and it's so heartbreaking. And I know some fans feel like his character was somehow destined to die, like maybe towards the end of the show. But honestly, I never felt that way because he had went through a lot. Not to say that his brother didn't went through a whole lot too, which he did. They both did. But with Dean, I felt like the things he went through just breaks my heart, and knowing that like, did I just say his name? If I did, it probably just slipped out. But I know that's probably not a spoiler, but I'm just not gonna spoil to how he died, because if I do, I'm just gonna start crying. But yeah, considering how he went through a lot and the things he went through, just leaves this aching pain in my stomach and in my heart, where I'm just like, no, he did not deserve to go through that. And honestly, I felt like he deserved better. He really deserved better. He deserved to have someone in his life. And personally, I felt like he deserved to find the right kind of woman for him, where he could fall completely in love with, and knowing that despite of his job, that he can have someone in his life, and to be happy, to have that kind of love, because he deserved it, and to have, to get married to the woman of his dreams, and to have kids, and but knowing that that never happened and he died, yeah, it just, oh, like I said, it tore me apart. And I know that's something I will never get over. Never. And I truly feel that should have never happened to him, but it did. And so I just hate that. But now there's another show that I'm watching, which is also my second time watching it as well, and that's One Tree Hill. But here's another thing. There's also one character I absolutely love, that to see this particular character's death scene is in season 3, and if you know who I'm talking about, because I remember the first time that I watched One Tree Hill was back in 2021, around there. So when it came to this particular episode, which I won't spoil it for anyone who wants to watch it, but when it came to this particular episode of season 3, which led up to this character's death, I was not ready, because it completely caught me off guard, and I was not expecting it to happen. I just wasn't. And so when it happened in a way, because I wish I could explain it more if I could spoil it, but I won't. But I'll just say this, that when it happened in a way where because in that moment I'm thinking, okay, what's gonna happen here? Is this not gonna happen? Is it not? Or is something else gonna happen to stop this in case if it does happen? So my mind was just racing, my heart was racing, and I'm like anxious. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? And like I said, so because of that, and then when this character did what he did and end up killing the character, which actually was his own brother. So when he did that, and knowing, I think the last thing you see is his brother's face, and he's just like, standing there in silence, and I think that's how the episode ends. But yeah, so the first time that happened, when it came to watching it the first time, I was in complete shock and disbelief, and I was not expecting that to happen. Yeah, like I said, I was caught off guard, and not only that, but I was not only so shocked, but I was also like so anxious in the moment. I was tense. So the moment it happened, I remember my jaw dropped and I gasped, and all of a sudden tears, like I remember feeling tears were just building up instantly. And so when the episode ended just like that, I was just crying. I was crying hard after that, and I'm just thinking like what just happened? I'm thinking, no, like, like, okay, no, like, please tell me this isn't real. Please tell me that did not happen. Like, no. And so when it came to the next episode, and when it came to the realization that this character is now gone, and so not only it made me feel, and that's another death, fictional character death as well, that made me feel so completely sad, where I felt like my heart was ripped out too, just like with Dean in Supernatural. So yeah, but not only did it make me feel so heartbroken like that, but it made me feel so furious. It made me, let's just say, I end up hating the character more of his brother who killed him. Yeah, it made me hate him even more, because knowing of the fact that he had done all these horrible things to other people, but when he did that, it was like beyond horrible, and it was just like, to me it's just like unforgivable. And so it just made me hate that character more. Now of course I don't hate the actor himself, because he did a really great job playing this very dislikable character, because of how this character is just up to no good, and he just wants control, just wants things his way, and he will lie to get what he wants, and he's manipulative. And so, other than, like I said, so he does a great job playing that character, but I just hate the character himself, and I'm just like, oh, like, and I feel like, okay, because of what you did, I wish somebody could hurt you so you could feel that kind of pain, and that you can know that the kind of heartache that you caused to everyone, and like, not just to the fans who love the show, but also even to the other characters who were completely devastated. And I felt completely devastated by that character's death, and that is something I will never ever get over either. But yeah, and that's another thing, because I'm currently watching it, I am in fact on season 3, and because I'm on season 3, that means that episode where his character gets killed off by that bad, by that cruel and evil, manipulative brother of his, and because of that, I am not ready, because I know it's just gonna break my heart seeing it all over again, and I'm gonna end up in tears. So I am not ready for that. I'm not. Like I said, I know it sounds like I'm probably crying. I probably would be if I was explain it more into depth, if I was giving away spoilers and everything, but I'm not. It's just the air, hon. But yes, anyway, I know I probably went on about that of Supernatural and One Tree Hill, but I just wanted to share that. And yes, oh, my fingers are cold. Okay, so yeah, I just want to say, yes, I know this video is going on for a bit long. I'm sorry. I should end it, but before I do, I just want to say this, and I think I want to look up more into this, but I remember reading somewhere that the reason why this particular character was killed off is because I'm not sure who exactly, but I think it was one of the crew members that didn't like working with an actor that played this likable character who was a good brother, a good guy and everything, and that because this certain crew member that didn't like working with the actor, I think both professionally or personally or both, that somehow, I don't know how this came up, I think someone had an idea to kill off this character, but when they did, I think, I'm not sure who, maybe the writer, the director, or somebody maybe had an idea like, okay, if we're gonna kill him off, then let's have his evil brother kill him. And it's like, oh, that's the worst, and to have seen that happen, that's why it made me hate his cruel and cold evil brother more, than before. And it just completely broke my heart knowing that this happened to this character just when things were turning around and just when things were actually going good for him, and just when things probably would have turned out maybe even better, and before those things could happen, that it was just taken away. And honestly, I gotta say, for that crew member that didn't like working with an actor, both either professionally or personally, it's like, honestly, I just find that decision not so wise and honestly immature, and it's just not, to me, it's just not, how can I put it into words, but to me it just doesn't seem like a I can't say it. It doesn't seem like an adult decision. To me it just seemed unnecessary and a very irrational decision to make, and it just happened so suddenly and unexpected that, like I said, it caught me off guard. So all these feelings were mixing together, like feeling this hatred for his cold brother, but on one hand feeling so sad, feeling completely heartbroken that his character had to die like that. So yeah, and from what I've also read is that his he in his contract, the actor, that he mentioned that in his contract he was actually supposed to stay on the show for much longer, but somehow for some reason, which I'm not sure what the real reason is, that his character was killed off just because somebody wasn't getting along with him, just because someone didn't like working with him, on the set of the show, and somehow made this very, very absurd decision just to kill him off, which, like I said, makes no sense. And yes, I know I'm kind of ranting about it, but I feel like I deserve to rant on it because it still bothers me, it still makes me upset, and that should have never happened. And the thing is, I believe if an actor has a contract where it says they're supposed to be on the show for a long time, like let's say up until the very last season of the show, then it should have stayed that way. And honestly, I would have loved to see more of the character, and I would have loved to see all the great changes that would have happened, for him, but no. Okay, but yeah, if you want to see the show, and like I said, I won't say how or anything because that's something I won't spoil, but that still upsets me, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, really? Because I would understand if someone had to be killed off because maybe if they were filming another show, or maybe if they had to film a movie, and if they, knowing that the filming schedules will be kind of difficult, then I would understand. But to kill off a character just because a crew member doesn't like working with a certain actor, whether if it's professionally or personally, it's like, don't do that. Don't make such a irrational and absurd decision just to kill off a character just because you don't like working with him professionally or personally. Like, come on, like no offense, but be an adult, and like, okay, if you don't like working with a certain actor or a certain person in your workplace, like, okay, that don't make a decision like that, but just leave it alone. Just go about your day and just do what you have to do, but don't make a decision like that, because then a lot of fans are going to be upset, and guess what? That's what happened. A lot of fans were upset, and the thing is, even though I wasn't watching the show at the time when it aired, but the fact that with my first time watching the show in 2021 on Max, which is still on Max, so when it came to my first time watching it ever, and so, like I said, to see that, like I said, I was not expecting that, so it was so sudden, and like I said, it just completely tore me apart. It just broke my heart, and like that, I was just crying so hard, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And yeah, I remember even after that I thought, no, please tell me this isn't real, this has to be a nightmare. I'm like, no. But like I said, I know I'm like going on about that and kind of ranting, kind of venting, but that's just how I feel. Like, and I hate it when those kinds of decisions are made. I really do. Because, I don't know, I feel like if I was working with someone and if I didn't like maybe working with that person, whether if it was professionally or personally or both, I wouldn't make such a decision like that. I would just leave them alone and be like, okay, even though I don't like working with this person, but I'm just gonna try to do my best and just, just be polite, but I'm just gonna do my own thing and just, you know what I mean? Like, mind my own business, pretty much. Okay, so I'm sorry again for venting, but I feel like I had to vent because knowing that the first time seeing this really, like I said, it just completely broke me, and it just it's just one of those fictional characters' death that I'll never get over, just like how with Dean's death I'll never get over either. Oh. And so yeah, both their deaths just completely broke my heart in a way where it felt like my heart was ripped out, and I'm left to nothing but with such, like just feeling like that I'll never get over it, and and I know that I won't, and I'm left nothing but tears, on my face, and it's just gonna keep pouring, like a water sprinkler. I know that's kind of a strange way to put it, but yeah, like that. But anyway, yeah, like I said, okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, talk about the update of my channel, talk about Val Kilmer and Batman Forever, along with my other favorite movies, to talk about Supernatural and One Tree Hill. But I will say this, that when I do my video of the 5 fictional characters that I've crushed on, though the ones that I mentioned, they are on that list. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, yeah. Oh gosh, this is going on for like an hour and 16 minutes. Now I hope you can stick around for this long, but I just want to say, for those who probably have stuck around for this long, thank you. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. Wow. Okay, what a sneeze. Now, I don't know if this will happen. Maybe, maybe not, but I don't know if anyone from the shows that I've mentioned, maybe kind of briefly, if any of them somehow ends up watching this video and hearing about what I had to say, comment down below and let me know what you think, because personally that's just what I feel. Because like I said, with me, I feel like Dane should have never died, because he deserved better, because he went through a lot, and knowing he died never to have that happy ending, more like beginning of his life, that just makes me even more sad, and sad to see him die like that. So yeah, it's just completely unfair, and I will never get over it. Same thing with same thing with Keith in One Tree Hill, that when he got killed by his own brother, just right in the early seasons of the show, right in season 3, like I said, that was so sudden, so unexpected, and not only did it made me furious, but it, like I said, it also broke my heart, and I just felt like, no, this can't be happening, this is not fair. Like, things were starting to get good, and things were starting to turn around for the better for him, and now, just when anything else could happen, now it's just all taken away because of his cold, evil brother. But I think it's because maybe someone of the crew member had an idea to kill him off by his brother, and it's like, and like I said, that just also makes me furious of that really absurd decision. It's like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I feel like I had to defend to rant on that. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video, like I said, this update, this chit chat video. And I'm sorry if this chit chat probably went on for a bit long than I actually thought it would, but hey, at least I'm here now. I'm back, and yes, at least now you're gonna see me. So, but I just want to say, if you guys have actually watched all the way up until the end, please leave a comment and like the video. And yes, for those who are new here and for those who probably have just came across this video, and yeah, if you ever want to see the videos I'm going to be doing quite soon, even my content of movies, dreams, reactions, and paranormal, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. And yes, I actually want to put that there of the Batman Forever poster, because I thought, it would just be so great to put it there. But yeah, like I said, maybe, because it looks a little bit crooked, so maybe I should move it to the other side. Maybe move it just a little bit and maybe lower it down a bit. But yes, that's a new addition to my room, and yeah, it looks great because it's just, to me personally, it's just a really great Batman movie, and I love it so much. And plus, I have my Back to the Future poster over there. I have my Spirit poster there. And yes, I have my candle. Well, I have other LED flickering candles. Because I have one right there on my dresser, and I have a lamp right there, which that's why you see the light here, because the lamp's over there. Because I know before it was over there. Well, no, I don't think you've seen the lamp over there. Maybe not. But it was there before, but now it's over there on my dresser. So yeah. Anyway, comment down below if you have stuck around for this long. So yeah, subscribe to see more of my content and to see the videos that I will be uploading soon. So I want to do some fun videos first before I get back to my movie reviews. But yes, so yeah, the thing is, so yes, that is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna do some, least I would say some 4 new videos, but they're gonna be more fun videos first, to start off with on my channel, and yeah, then after that, then I'm gonna get back to talking about movies, dreams, reaction videos, and paranormal. So I will be back with that as well. But first, I'm gonna do just 4 new but fun videos first. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and there's another thing I was gonna say. Oh yeah, another thing I'm thinking of doing is like to do a movie reaction videos on my channel. And how I'm gonna do it is that instead of having it like in my regular reaction videos where you see the TV and my reaction, and because I can't show the whole movie, what I might have to do is just have it like this, where you just see me and I'm watching the movie like right here. So whatever it is that I'm watching, I'm only seeing what I'm seeing, but you can hear it, but at the same time you'll just see my reaction. So it'll be like this. So I'm thinking of doing that soon. I don't know when, but comment down below what movie you think I should start off with of my first movie reaction video because I have no clue. I have no idea what movie to start with at all. So if you have any suggestions, I would like to hear them and comment down. Yeah, comment down those suggestions below, and yeah, comment down. Just leave any kind of comment if you have reached this far in my video. So yes, anyway, I must be going. So yes, for more content and to see more content of what I do of my, like I said, movies, dreams, paranormal, and reaction videos, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.